Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL. And I recently did this blindsided creation pattern, and I have decided I would like to have another go at it and change it up just a little bit. So I'm gonna take the thing here, copy it, and here's my new template. So the big difference is, let's move this off to the side. I'm blocking it. Okay, I need to shrink it down a little bit. The big difference is the pattern we did before is 7 strings on either side. So 7 strings going into loop or 14 coming down. And this is 8 strings on either side or 16 strings coming down. And I think what the difference here is going to be is that you will be able to do it in a real easy left knot or right knot only type of method. So let's see if that works out like I think it's going to work out. Anchor the floating layer, then I go to this one. Wait, why did that disappear? Oh, because I was still on the scale tool. All right, so let's get the paint bucket tool. Let's go over here. So the right out the middle is, whoa, fill similar areas, not whole section. I always tell myself to make sure I put that back after I'm done with it. And for some odd reason, I kind of fail. So it starts out with this kind of V thing here, and then let's choose the other color. I'm going to use white string, but for the pattern's purpose, I'm going to go with an off-white in case we need to change it for any given reason. Wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. Is that right? Yeah. And then this comes out here. The question is, do we want to shrink this a little bit or make it larger maybe? This is where this made a thing like that. And there's going to be a white one there, I'm sure. And maybe something over here. I think we can make this spiral bigger. I think having it come out to this edge makes more sense. So let's back this up a bit. Let's have it come all the way out to here. In which case, we can change some of this. This is the one that's going to come out and make the thing. So now we get a bigger spiral. This is going to come out this way. I had thought about the possibility of creating a template that would make this whole thing a whole lot easier. I'm not ruling that out now, but it seems 1, 2, 3, yeah. And then this went all the way out. I suspect that's going to be a one there, and I think there's going to be a little something in here as well. We'll get to that bridge when we get to it. So now this spiral thing here has to kind of be flipped around. So the question is, where does that flip at? Let's try it. Let's select by this color here. Control C, Control V. Flip tool. So that went that direction. Now let's change it this direction and then move it. Alright, so now we just gotta kind of get it zeroed in on the spot. That worked. That actually really worked. These lines, the dark ones, line up like it should work just fine. There's not much left afterwards. Let's grab the paint tool again. Oh, this is floating up above. Hang on. Merge it down. All right, that's why. All right, so this would come up like this. And I think it makes the diamond again, yeah. So that would be like this. One there, a couple here. And a couple here. So now if I'm guessing this right, it's gonna work out to where every other color is gonna work for this. So let's see if I'm right. Unfortunately, this thing doesn't have the kind of symmetry needed to this might not work out exactly right. I already see something with this being off. Let's get rid of these for a second. And this. Bring this down here. Is that how I'd want to do it? Because then this one will come across, and then this would come in here. Like that. I think we're off by one. I'm not sure how that happened, but I think it was too busy following the other one. So this coming straight across here. That makes sense because that will link to this. And so this comes out more. I think that's working. The only way to really know is to get all this stuff filled in and make sure that everything lines up like it's supposed to, which is kind of hard. So one of the ways I was thinking about doing this was to go every other with the strings going for the underlying strings through it, and then see what's left. Because anytime a white goes over a white, obviously that's a white knot. Every time a pink goes over the pink, that's a pink knot. And if we did that, we would be able to really see where things line up at. So okay, so this here should now go here. Like that. And then this is out here. This one's coming through this way. Right, and this is coming this way. So I think we're going to end up with a white one here. Unless I do something about that. Ooh. Let's try putting some more of these in, see what we got. So this was a hypothetical that I was thinking about, that maybe the fact that when you divided the other one, it went to an odd number, that somehow it might be better as an even number. And now I'm not really entirely convinced yet that that's true. But we will see. This is the pink coming through this way. Right. This one is coming this way. Right, so that works. And then we're gonna have another pink coming through the other way. So that side kind of works. It's a little questionable about this little part that sticks out here still, but this is one. So when I made the last one where I did a gray and that kind of a plum or pink color, that turned out really cool. I liked the contrast that it had. But I got to thinking that, you know, as cool as it was, it seemed to me that it would also be really neat to do that with a white string instead. And so that's why I figured the second one I would try with the other contrasting color that I thought would work. Oh, that doesn't work there. Huh. We can bring it across here. 1, 2, 3. can either be one less, or this will be the light one coming through. Yeah, this is both sides here. And it comes around sort of this way. It makes it kind of really long. Yeah, and then the pinks will, this will turn into this here. So that means over on this side, it's also going to do the same thing. Let's work out those strings. So yeah, this is kind of a fun deep dive into pattern making, where even I'm kind of getting a little lesson on things not turning out quite how I anticipated. Yeah, that's that one and that one. That square there has to be a dark pink, because of how if it's not changing directions, then that's what it has to be. This will come down this way, and this can go ahead and be pink going this way. This can be the white over here. And I know this is taking longer than I would have hoped, but we're definitely getting somewhere with this. This is not, once we fill in this top half, we can copy it and put it on the bottom half as well. This is the light one over here, I take it. That's going to be for the diamond that ends up at the middle, so that's cool. Yeah, this is working out kind of how I expected it. Just there are little traits of this that I hadn't anticipated being quite so different. So I really can't knock the person who did it with fewer strings and just had the fact that you had to use some zigzag knots to make it work. Because you got the pattern, it did work, it does work out, but this one here will be beginner friendly. Anybody who can only do a chevron could potentially work this one out. I kind of got a feeling like this here would turn into like a really interesting, like bigger project if you were to double it or more. I think you would actually end up with something really quite stunning. Because you'd have these big diamonds, and then you'd have this like spiral effects making these little bump out things. I think it would be really cool. All right. I'm suddenly finding myself like in a mess of what to fill in next. Like there's just all directions I can see, like, yep, this needs it here too. And trying to keep track of like which ones are which in my head so I don't make mistakes. Sometimes when I try to scroll with the mouse to kind of get to the higher areas, I'm left trying to figure out like, wait, where was the area I was just working on? And yeah. Probably would have gone a little bit faster perhaps if I had just concentrated on one of the two colors and then just filled in what was left. But in a way, doing what I'm doing is allowing me to kind of double check my work and make sure I didn't miss anything. Which is helpful. I definitely don't want to make mistakes. I have in the past discovered little errors, you know, color not where it's supposed to be in the making of the bracelet portion. And then I go back and I fix it, but which means basically I missed the opportunity to show you guys where it happens, what's wrong with it. Because I'm not recording the making small changes to the pattern. We are almost finished. I wonder if this is going to use any of the strings more than one over another. I'm just going to let all the strings kind of play out, let them go straight across, and do this as though it was a beginner's project. And then we'll see how that turns out. But there we go. The whole top half, we can hide our example that we worked from. And yeah, let's copy this whole top half here. Control C, Control V, the flip tool. So now the question is, do we flip it again? I think so. So I flipped it vertically, but if we flip it again horizontally, we change the directions of the spirals. Oh, but wait, look, it makes it repeat like normal if we just do it this way. Oh, so yeah, either way would be acceptable. Wow, I don't know which way to do it now. I think I'm going to include both versions over on my website, so you can do it whichever way you want to. This one just looks like it's just continuation of what was above. And this way it looks kind of interesting as well. Both of them work. Both of them all the strings line up and make it possible. So yeah, that's fascinating. I had not anticipated that. Here, before I get out of here, let me thank my YouTube members who make this stuff possible. Recently got a whole bunch of string, and I've been just diving into it like Scrooge McDuck into his bank, and I love it. I love the idea that we can just kind of use whatever colors to make whatever kind of bracelets, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you guys so much. If you want to, it's just the join button down by the subscribe. If you can't, you know, for whatever reason, that's fine. Just hit the like button, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.